All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron Michael Eschenberg here, bringing you your daily horoscope for the 24th of April 2019. It is a Wednesday. Happy hump day. I hope you had an amazing Tuesday. Lifted, feeling a lot of release going on, and we're moving in, which is great. The moon moves into Capricorn, all right? So this emotional release we had. Now, Capricorn and Aquarius are the two least emotional signs of the zodiac. It doesn't mean they're not emotional people. They're not emotional. It just means that's where other things favor, specifically work. It's like it's time to work. And if we're sitting here hemming and hawing all day about, what the boss said this or how he didn't say please when he asked me to go do my job, and I can't perform my job because the courtesy wasn't there, the bedside manner wasn't there. But if I don't do my job, then I don't get paid, and if I don't get paid, then I don't eat, So it's just like, suck it up, get out there, do the job, Not saying that it's just a suck it up, an emotionless day, just kind of going through it. So, all right, let me show you here. Pluto is going retrograde today. That little S means it is station retrograde, moving backward in Capricorn. There's the moon at 8 degrees, making the square over here to Mercury, to Venus, and to Chiron, okay? And the moon is also creating a nice trine, emotional breakthroughs down here to Uranus, and breakthrough to self, okay? These are both in Taurus. These are fellow Earth sign to Capricorn, Earth sign, okay? So that's the big business that we're having today, is Pluto retrograde, the moon moving into Capricorn and creating a trine to Uranus and the sun, and creating a square over here to these three. So Pluto moving backward is about a 6-month transit. It's going to happen today until, like I said, about 6 months from now. So I don't have the whole date in front of me. It doesn't matter. It's happening for 6 months, man. It's half of the year, right? And Pluto is about death, destruction, transformation, and rebirth, okay? It is the ruling planet of Scorpio, and it has 3 archetypes, okay? It is the snake, it is the eagle, and it is the dove. Now, although it's scorpion, it's the snake. It's slithering on its belly. It's a predator eating. Then it's the hawk. It rises up. Or excuse me, it's the eagle. It rises up. Okay, and it's still a meat eater, but it's raised up. And then finally, it transcends to this white dove, which is a sign of peace. Okay, so I like to think of this too. Like when we think of our ancients, they didn't know. We didn't have the knowledge that we have today. We didn't have the World Wide Web. We didn't have, Christopher Columbus hadn't sailed. We hadn't known that you would fall off the edge of the earth or whatever. So when our ancients saw the sun go to the underworld, it was this very mysterious place. We didn't know it was just the other side of the globe, just the other side of the ball, and then the moon comes up. So there's this whole underworld kind of a thing. And it dies and is reborn again, and dies and is reborn again, and dies and is reborn again every single day, right? So as Pluto is moving backward, dying and reborn again, dying and reborn again, in the sign of Capricorn, which is, again, it's the least emotional, but the moon is in there right now, adding emotion to it, creating a trine over there to Uranus, creating a trine to the sun, saying like, no, add some emotion to this. So where we left off yesterday, okay? Where we left off yesterday, saying, let's go inside and let's think about others. Well, now today, we get to think about self. Where have I abandoned myself? Okay? And the beautiful thing is we can take the emotion out of it. So we're not dwelling on something, and we can do the real work. We can do the groundbreaking work that needs to be done. And that's why that connection to Uranus and the sun is really beautiful today. Like, This is like doing the deep inner work without being a puddle, like an emotional puddle, without feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can continue to do this. It's like Capricorn, we're getting to the top of the mountain. We're getting to the top of Mount Everest, and I'm going to drop a rope down to you, and I'm going to help you get up as well. So it's like there's nothing stopping us from reaching our goals. And if that goals are self-breakthroughs, if that goals are turning, a little bit inward and saying, how have I, going back to this, this connection here real quick, And this is a square. The moon is squaring this stuff. Okay? So again, this is again how I abandoned myself. What have I done to myself? How mentally or physically am I telling myself that I'm not good enough? You know? And then further, we transform this, because Capricorn is government, for one. It's structure, it's order, it is the laws of reality, but it's also about work, career, and public image. All right? So it's like, are we okay? Here's a fun one. Here's a fun one. Do you remember the radio guy? Not radio. He was like a homeless guy. He had this like amazing voice. They're like, next up on the he's like this homeless dude. Okay, and all of a sudden this guy pulls up in a car and he's like, hey, let's hear that sweet radio voice you got. And he videotapes the guy and he's like, and next today on, April 24th, 2019, your daily horoscope with Aaron Eschenberg. It's like he had this amazing, like, speaker's voice. And then he got, I think, the Cavaliers, something like that. Some NBA team, I do believe, brought this guy in and, allowed him to get this, to do this job. Very reputable job. There are plenty of people. I would love that job, right? I've got that radio voice. Let's go, baby. Hire me. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, that's a cool job, man. And this guy got pulled from the streets. Okay? But his mentality wasn't there. Although he got this job, he had the career, his mentality was still in the streets. So what happened to him? He went to the booze. He had enough money to start a whole new life. And he went back to where he was. He had never transcended that space, okay? So although the career had catapulted and pushed him, he never saw himself in that place of that career. So it's like we have to do the emotional work to put ourselves in line with the career that we're doing. So we have 6 months of retransforming and rethinking our public image and our careers, on where we're going in our careers, how we structure ourselves daily, how we govern ourselves daily. Are we exercising? Are we eating the healthy foods? Are we throwing our hands up and saying, who cares? If that's our attitude sometimes. That is our attitude. And it's like we're being called and nudged to nurture ourselves, and to say, no, I care. Even if no one else cares about Aaron has to care about Aaron. I have to care. So it's, this little bit of internal stuff. Have I given up on myself? Have I abandoned myself today? And if so, it's time to do this inner work, time to change my perception of who I am, my public image, how I see myself in the world, because I don't want to screw up, having this golden opportunity and I couldn't see myself back to where I was years ago, You're getting it. You got it. You got it. It's a great day. It's another great day. Happy Wednesday. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, for watching, the support. Always appreciate any comments you guys have for me, feedback. We'll see you tomorrow.